5-1 Saskatchewan and Dwayne. These two teams have something else in common. They're both missing their number one quarterback. The Riders already without Trevor Harris. Now Cody Fajardo is on the 6th game. So enter Caleb Evans, who got 2 starts last year, including one, a victory against Saskatchewan.
Yeah, one that may have looked very different than what we anticipate in this game, a game in which he hardly had to throw the football in order to get it done. But the fact is, since coming to Montreal, Caleb Evans undefeated as a starter filling in for Cody Fajardo. He looks to keep that streak alive here in 2024. And of course, Shea Patterson, the former Montreal Alouette, picking up for Trevor Harris in Saskatchewan, doing a nice job getting his first looks as a starter.
Corey May's great start to his head coaching tenure in Saskatchewan, and he certainly knows the rivalry against Montreal from his days as defensive coordinator in Toronto the last few years. Jason Moss, his team coming off the bye after losing for the first time this season 2 weeks ago. That ended a 13-game winning streak that goes back to last September, and of course includes victories in the playoffs and the Grey Cup last year. 5-1 versus 5-1, and we are underway at Molson Stadium. It's Mario Alford, the ex-Alouette, who just takes it out of bounds up around the 35. Shea Patterson, 2-1 record as a starter this season after stepping in for Trevor Harris in a big victory last week against Winnipeg.
Yeah, Shea Patterson has done a nice job so far. You heard Jim Barker talk about his development. Seems to get a little bit more comfortable with each outing, developing chemistry with his receivers. Loses Keon Schaefer-Baker this week. We'll look to see if that creates a bigger opportunity for some of the others in that receiving corps.
Watch Joe and also number 3 back in the lineup now. In motion, Keyshawn Johnson. He has the ball. He's going to throw off it. Little trick to start things off, and it goes too far. The intended receiver was Samuel Emelis, and the Alouettes had that well covered.
Yeah, Al's D certainly well prepared as the Riders look to make a statement on the opening play. We'll take a look at this Saskatchewan offense. Jacob Brammer gets to start once again, and for Jamarcus Hardrick at that right tackle spot. Among those offensive skill players, A.J. Ouellette in what we'll call a bit of a maintenance week this week. Frankie Hickson, only 1 carry on the season so far. He's going to carry the load in the backfield today for the Riders.
So Mark Mueller trying something a little different, and that pass by Johnson. Patterson flushed out, completes it to Frankie Hickson, who has a first down up at the 50 with the injury to A.J. Ouellette. Hickson with his biggest play of 2024.
Yeah, Hickson, limited opportunity so far this season with the free agent acquisition of A.J. Ouellette, but making his presence felt early in this one, picking up the first down after the short catch.
He had only had 1 touch before that play. A carry for 6 yards, so gets the catch, gets the first down in his 3rd year out of Liberty. 1st and 10, and Patterson hands off to Hickson. Has it again, and a good carry left side. Up near another first down, just shy. It'll be 2nd and short now facing that Alouettes defense.
Yeah, and this defense has been led thus far by a guy who's established himself as maybe the top defensive tackle in the CFL. That's Mustafa Johnson from the University of Colorado, now in his 3rd season. Nice find for the Alouettes this offseason. Bryce Cosby done a terrific job since taking over for Reggie Stubblefield at the nickel backer spot. And the Owls welcome back Marc-Antoine Dequoy at the free safety spot. He sat out last game before the bye week for them due to injury.
So on a 2nd and short, Patterson keeps it, and he does not get much. Had to get to the 50. Tyrese Beverett in there, but that is a difficult Montreal defense to run against.
Well, it certainly is. Noel Thorpe's group. A nice second effort from Shea Patterson. Kept this play alive after the initial stuff at the point of attack. Nonetheless, 3rd and short situation.
As Patterson stays in, 3rd down, less than a yard at the Montreal 51. Keeps it again, and looks like he does, falling forward easily. Has enough to move the sticks as the drive continues. And this opening set of downs now for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, Shea Patterson's just going to slide left. Gets in behind his left guard, Ryan Sevier, there to push his way for that first down. Nice execution by the Riders O-line.
Shea Patterson had some time in Montreal. It was very brief. It was late in the 2021 season after being let go by the BC Lions. Trevor Harris had replaced the injured Vernon Adams as the starting quarterback late in the 21 season. And Patterson backed him up. 1st and 10. 49 running is Frankie Hickson again. Another good pickup as he gets it down to about the 42. Mentioned the product of Liberty.
Yeah, Frankie Hickson, now an experienced CFL running back. He's always had to sort of fight for his playing time, but a terrific college career with the Liberty Flames. You see his numbers there, and again, close to 700 yards rushing in his Canadian Football League career. So nice guy to be able to plug in with Alouette sitting down this week.
Got a lot of reps 2 years ago with injuries to Jamal Morrow, who's their #1 running back then. Pressure coming, gets rid of it and completes it too. And that is Keyshawn Johnson, who has it for another Rider first down. The drive continues. And there was heat on Shea Patterson, who just barely got that one away.
Well, there's a bit of a look-off pass from Shea Patterson. He looks like he's looking downfield on this one. And then kind of slings it across his body to his left, right side on your screen to find Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson in the lineup for Keon Schaefer-Baker this week.
They've taken the opening kickoff. They've got it down to the Alouette 33. First down, handing off. Hickson again, stays on his feet. First down and more. The running of Frankie Hickson, filling in for A.J. Ouellette, and doing it admirably so far as they're in the red zone.
Yeah, definitely looking to establish that run game early. Not a surprise. Anytime you see a young quarterback, backup quarterback in the lineup, you want to help him out a little bit. But a big part of this, in my opinion, has to do with setting up some play-action pass, as Patterson doesn't get rid of the ball quite as quickly as the veteran starter, Trevor Harris.
Swinging it out to Jarrett Stearns, who did not have a catch last week against Winnipeg. Camion Ento pushing him out of bounds after another good gain and first down for the Riders.
Jarrett Stearns coming out of the slot, as you mentioned. Quiet week for him last week. Sean Bain as well, only a couple of catches. So a couple of veteran guys, both second year with the Riders, but fairly established receivers trying to get their footing, I think, with the new quarterback in the lineup.
So it's a pickup of 4 for Stearns. Hickson already has 48 combined yards in this drive. Patterson's looking that way again, and coming across is Sean Bain looking for his first catch of the game, but no, it falls short. And third down, and the field goal unit, and Brett Lother will be coming on for the Riders.
And I know a disappointing way for this drive to wind up for Shea Patterson after a pretty sharp start for the young QB. That pass just got away from him a little low, looking for Bain out in the flat.
He was 3 for 4 in that drive. A lot of good running, too, as they work their way down the field for Lother. 4 for 4 last week against Winnipeg. 15 of 18 on the season. Longest of 49. This a 22-yard try with Adam Korsak to put it down. And Lother puts it through. First possession, down they go. They pick up a field goal, so now it's Caleb Evans' turn. Third career start as a wind blowing from the west. It could be gusts up to over 40 kilometers an hour. It's blowing to the backs of the Alouettes, who have the ball for the first time in this game, trailing 3-0 after a Brett Lother field goal. Caleb Evans with the start, his first of the season. Walter Fletcher with a big game against the Riders a year ago. Now a flag does come out as he was heading for first down yardage.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Saskatchewan number 15-8. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Aided and abetted by the penalty as announced by the referee Tom Valesi.
There you see, coming late, going low. Justin Herdman-Reed, linebacker, coming on the blitz, flagged on that play.
Down inside the Rider 45. Evans gets rid of it again. It is low, intended for Fletcher that time. And incomplete it goes. Caleb Evans came off the bench for the injured Cody Fajardo a couple of weeks ago against the Argos. Overall this season, 16-27. He was 12-22 in that game. A couple of touchdown passes and a couple intercepted as well.
Yeah, and one of the things you had to like about Caleb Evans in that game, as though a veteran now, the fact is still a young quarterback in this league. He had that pick six that he gave up to Winton McManus. Loved the way he bounced back from that, and I thought that said a lot about his growth.
Pressure coming, gets rid of it. Charleston Rambo, who caught a touchdown pass from Evans against the Argos after Evans had thrown that pick six a couple of weeks ago, and he has that one there for a first down and a pickup of 20 yards.
And a good response here. Rambo, the inside receiver on this play, just on the numbers, number 14. First-year CFLer, gradually seeing his role grow within this Montreal Alouettes offense. I know big things were expected from him after a terrific training camp.
Jess Renantwi in the ball game as well. Evans dumping it down there to Fletcher. And inside the 15 and driving down inside the 10 is Fletcher. Looks like a first and goal coming up here for the Montreal Alouettes.
And Fletcher, of course, lining up in the backfield with his quarterback here, is just going to slip out to the flat. And this is a guy you can't forget about. Bit of a check release there as he helps secure the defensive end. But Walter Fletcher has emerged as leading receiver among running backs in the Canadian Football League this season. Big contributor to the Owls. Quick passing game, pile up those yards after the catch.
Top two defenses, and yet the offenses are doing well so far in this game. With a timeout call.
Montreal.
By Caleb Evans.
Alouettes starting offense, that line led by Pierre-Olivier Lestage, viewed by many as the top guard in the Canadian Football League right now. Shedler Furvius getting a look in the lineup again. St. Mary's product in for an injured Keon Julian Grant. Julian Grant was scratched before the Owls' last game, put on the 6-game injured list.
The Alouettes only at 11 on the field. That's why Evans called that timeout, so they get things straight. It is a first and goal. Saskatchewan, on its first possession, went down, picked up 3. This is the Alouettes. First drive and threatening. Evans, he has time. He steps up, he tries to take off. And Brian Cox among those that have him wrapped up, and that's Micah Johnson down at the feet as well in that Saskatchewan defense.
Yeah, an opening there briefly, but this Saskatchewan defense shut it down. You mentioned a couple of those defensive linemen. Malik Carney came over from Hamilton in free agency, looking for him to help boost that pass rush. Also coming from Hamilton was Jameer Thurman, who you heard them talk about in the pregame show a little bit and what his impact has been here in Saskatchewan. Amari Henderson comes in for Deontay Williams this week at the boundary corner spot, playing alongside Milligan.
From the Rider 9, second and goal. Evans runs out of time. He had it for a while. He scrambles to the right, gets away from Anthony Lanier, and tosses it into the end zone to no one. So it looked for a moment like he had some time, but just couldn't find a receiver, and then scrambled out and had to basically throw it away. Third and goal coming up. Field goal unit coming on.
Yeah. One of the things that Jason Moss talks about, so you're going to see Anthony Lanier coming on this one. Big loop all the way around. But the calm of Caleb Evans under pressure. This guy doesn't really feel it. And you got a bit of a sense for that, the way he hung onto the football on that play.
That is Jose Maltos once again kicking for the injured David Cote. A third game for Maltos, who was 4 for 5 coming in, so 5 for 6. That one 17 yards against Hamilton. Not a good completion percentage there, Dwayne, but steadily he has been improving.
Yeah, and this is what you're looking for in a young quarterback, is basically that you have progress week by week, and Shea Patterson has certainly demonstrated that, given his team an opportunity to win.
As Trevor Harris has mentioned, the two of them were teammates here in Montreal 3 years ago. And back to work for the Riders, and back in the hands of Frankie Hickson, who had a big opening possession with 32 yards rushing.
And I mentioned earlier that just the importance of this run game, and in particular with that potential to set up some play action for Shea Patterson. Trevor Harris gets the ball out of his hands the fastest of any quarterback in the Canadian Football League. There's a difference with a younger quarterback and Shea Patterson playing. Play action can buy him a little bit of time, but for that to work, you got to establish the run and make the other team respect it.
Hickson got 5. It's 2nd and 5, throwing over the middle and top. First down, it's back to Keyshawn Johnson in the Alouette zone inside the Montreal 50. A gain of 17 more yards for the Saskatchewan offense.
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson out of Fresno State. Another good-sized target in that receiving corps. He comes in place of Keon Schaefer-Baker. Saskatchewan, a team with enough Canadian depth that they're able to plug an American receiver in there without any ratio challenges.
1st and 10, Alouette 48, the toss inside. And Bain trying to get outside to the edge, but no, the Alouettes have that all nicely strung out, and it's taken down around the 49.
There's Milt Steagle's guy to watch. Joe motioning out wide here. They're going to basically get him out as the lead blocker on this play, and he's been very active in terms of this Rider run game so far. A lot of blocking for him in the box at the point of attack, trying to take advantage of his size and strength. Huge frame on the rookie receiver.
So a loss of a yard for Bain on that play at midfield. Patterson. Oh, nearly intercepted. The rookie, Jeffrey Cantar-Coup, had it right in his mitts and couldn't hang on. 3rd down coming up for the Riders.
Cantar-Coup continuing. Fantastic start to his rookie season here in the Canadian Football League. Montreal's 1st-round pick this year. Certainly one of the most productive members of the 2024 draft class thus far.
Brett Lothar is on to try a 57-yard field goal. The high of this season done by Winnipeg Sergio Castillo, who had a 60. Lothar. This would tie his career high. Oh, it was accurate, but it hit the crossbar and a dead ball. That close, about an inch away for Brett Lothar, and matching his career high, but no. It remains a tie football game. Beautifully struck. That close, not quite. 3-3 tie. IFAF U20 World Championship Football Tournament, where they won the gold over Japan 20-9. This was recently in Edmonton, so several of the players here for this game tonight and getting some recognition.
Yeah, and great to see them. Not a huge surprise to see so much representation from the province of Quebec. Obviously a hotbed in terms of amateur football in this country.
Still a 3-3 game. Caleb Evans has the ball back, and coming in, DeMarcus Fields, who hits him. He just gets rid of it towards the Al sideline, 2nd down.
But you know the thing that I love on this play, obviously the physicality of Fields, recognition of the play and coming downhill, but also Caleb Evans, how strong he is on his feet. He's taken the hit before he throws this football, but manages to sort of absorb this and keep his balance well enough to be able to throw that ball and avoid the loss of yardage.
In the previous drive facing the blitz, he was 2 for 3 and he ran once. He's got a 2nd and 10 now. And 4-man rush for the Riders. Swings it out. Coverage is there as Fletcher gets away from it though. Walter Fletcher slips through and he picks up a 1st down for Montreal.
Walter Fletcher once again adding to those passing yards, adding to those yards after the catch. Great job here as he makes the first would-be tackler, C.J. Avery, miss. Churning the legs, moving the sticks for his team. That's all Fletcher on that play.
The top 3 receivers in yards after the catch in the CFL are playing tonight. Fletcher's one of them. Good work after the catch there. On the first down, Jeshurun Antwi has his first carry of this game, and not much doing right there. It has been impressive. Yards after the catch for these 2 teams. Mentioning the receiver Samuel Emelis is one, Tyson Philpott is the other one, but yes, 1 and 2, they're tied at 6.4 per reception after the catch.
Yeah, and it speaks to what their MO is offensively, and you can expect even more of that. Get the ball to your receivers, to your playmakers on high percentage passes. Let them make the plays, make people miss, pick up some yards.
And he stays into the ball carrier, and down goes Evans, and the ball does come out. Was he down? Miles Brown taking Evans down. And it looks like Caleb Evans was taken up with the sack. As you see, it's being held proudly by Lake Corte Moore. Saskatchewan's defense, they can get the heat on, and they certainly do there.
Yeah, Miles Brown coming around the edge. Tracking down Caleb Evans from the backside. Originally looked like he might have been down, but I think that ball's out.
We'll have a look. Whose ball is it on? And college teammates as well back in their Colorado days. Kabion Ento and Mustafa Johnson with more on that. Let's say hello to Kenzie Lalonde.
Yeah, it's got to be nice, Rod, coming into an organization and seeing a familiar face just like that from Mustafa Johnson and Kabion Ento. Teammates during their 2018 season at the University of Colorado. Kabion, a veteran at the time, gave Mustafa Johnson the nickname Stock at the time. It wasn't just a nickname that carried over for him over his college career. He goes by Moose now, but of course for Kabion Ento, he was a receiver back in his college days, but has been on the defensive side of the ball since turning pro and really has shined since then in the eyes of Mustafa Johnson, saying he's really found his true role as a DB. And hey, the ball always ends up finding his hands anyway. Kabion Ento, 4 interceptions, 1 touchdown and counting since becoming an Alouette.
And Kenzie, 2 significant members of that Owls defense a year ago in the run to the Grey Cup. Mustafa Johnson, one of the top interior defensive linemen in the league. Said to be one of the strongest too in Ento. Some big plays in that Montreal defense. Riders picked up 8, 2nd and 2. Frankie Hickson driving down and looks to be a first down for Saskatchewan. Trying to cash in after the first turnover. These are the top 2 teams in turnover ratio. The Riders lead the way at +11. And they have forced a turnover in this game.
And that obviously could be a big story. Again, obviously a battle of the backup quarterbacks. You're trying to put those guys in a position to be successful. Turnovers play a big part. Special teams play a big part in terms of giving one or the other a short field. This puts Shea Patterson in a pretty good situation offensively.
The only 2 teams in the plus in turnover ratio. And by far, Saskatchewan leading the way in that category.
Saskatchewan.
Patterson, the Riders take a timeout right at the end of the first quarter. And Saskatchewan threatening to take the lead again. They had it. There's Mark Mueller on the left, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Mark Mueller, his first season coming over to reunite with Corey Mace, as of course the 2 of them were on staff together in Calgary. Mark, former star quarterback at the University of Regina, finding his way back home.
And a young coach too, and we spoke earlier this season to Trevor Harris about Mark Mueller, who just gushed about how smart he is as a play caller, and high praise coming from the quarterback that's older than Mueller is. Trevor Harris, 38 years of age, and anxiously awaiting, I'm sure, a return to the lineup for Saskatchewan. Got injured back in week 3. Last play, opening quarter, right side, Frankie Hickson. Lots of room and more. Touchdown, Hickson, as Saskatchewan takes the lead again.
Well, Saskatchewan continuing to set the tone with that ground game. Once again, watch Joe coming right to left on your screen in motion. He's going to be the lead blocker on this one. Frankie Hickson follows him through the hole. I'm not sure he needed a blocker. He hit that one with such speed. He was barely touched en route to the end zone.
Boy, he's making the most of his chance, gets a big hug there from his head coach, Corey Mace. 3 plays, 31 yards after the fumble by Evans in a little over a minute. So points up, the turnover 6 right now, and trying to make it 7 with Lother on for the point after. And Hickson has 7 carries for 68 yards, and we're not at the end of the first quarter officially yet. That was the final play, well, with the point after, of course, from Lother. And touchdown off the turnover. Hickson running hard. Riders have the lead again, 20 for 20. And a touchdown to the top 2 defenses in the CFL, but the offenses have been able to move the football, especially the Riders, and especially Dwayne Frankie Hickson in that running game.
Yeah, those rushing yards numbers obviously jump out at you. And it's early in the game, so you don't worry too much about the fact that Montreal's number is low. But yeah, certainly Frankie Hickson coming into this ball game, filling in for A.J. Ouellette, certainly, I think, sending a message that he'd like a bigger role in this Rider offense going forward.
The quarter ended with a 20-yard run by Hickson in for the touchdown. As mentioned, he had 1 touch for 6 yards before this game, and then A.J. Ouellette had to sit out, and Caleb Evans looking forward to getting the ball back again. He got hit from behind by Miles Brown, forced the fumble, and it was just 3 plays later. That's all the Riders took to get it into the end zone for the first touchdown of this game, and a 10-3 lead after the first 15. About to get the second quarter started with a kickoff. A bit of a breeze in his back for Brett Lother, and then coming in to take it there is James Letcher. And C.J. Avery has him all wrapped up and taken down. Caleb Evans, well, Jason Moss had confidence in him before with a couple of starts last season filling in for Cody Fajardo. Here's what Moss had to say about what he likes about Evans' game.
When he has to create or get out of it, he's as good as anybody. He's strong, he's big, he's hard to bring down, and he's extremely athletic and can make all types of throws off platform. So, but he also can function in the pocket and throw it. So if he gets time in the pocket, he has very quiet feet, he has a calm demeanor back there, and he's able to do it. And he's gotten better at that as well with us.
Evans, 2 starts last year, 1 against Saskatchewan, 1 against Ottawa. He and the Alouettes won both of them. Going to the ground to Fletcher. A massive difference so far in this game, in the running game. All Saskatchewan so far. And a short pickup there for 25, Fletcher.
Yeah, good penetration there from the veteran, Micah Johnson, from his defensive tackle spot to force Fletcher to spin back to the middle. See Micah's numbers on the season. Still one of the best in the business.
No kidding. Tough to run the football against that interior line of the Riders. Stats have shown it. 2nd and 7. Evans throws. It's complete. Short pass and getting up across the 40 is Cole Speaker, but it's still a couple of yards shy of a first down. And the punting unit will come on.
Another big stop for this Saskatchewan Roughrider defense. He had a sense hiring a guy like Corey Mace, long-time D coordinator. Not even long time, but a quick riser as a D coordinator in this league. You see what his defense is doing. Establishing a reputation for themselves. That run defense, what really stands out.
You know, Mace, given his playing days, has an appreciation for that. Calgary Stampeder on the defensive line. Pressure coming, and the punt by Joseph Zima, who does manage to get it away. It's a shorter punt, and Mario Alford just picks it up and ends up going down right away, up around the Rider 37.
Well, barely into the second quarter of this football game, and Frankie Hickson has already had himself a pretty good night. Putting together the highlight pack, particularly carrying the rock, showing some great burst already with a touchdown in this one for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the only major of the game so far.
Loved hearing Corey Mace talk about this, that A.J. Ouellette's his workhorse, hip injury, needs a break, and he said, Frankie's getting restless. He's looking to get out there. And he's making the most of it so far and feeling his way through that time as he gets it up across the 40 on that first down carry and puts him closer or over 70 now with 5 more yards rushing. Great first half, Frankie Hickson. 73 now, his total.
A little question when you look at the play calling so far and the execution of it, where the focus has been for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in terms of their game plan.
Hickson in his 3rd year with the Riders, and certainly used sparingly up until this game tonight this season. Some heat coming in Patterson, but they don't get him. Dylan Wynn nearly get, and he just gets rid of the football, sending it towards his teammate Adam Korsak on the Riders sideline. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Watch for the middle linebacker. Darnell Sankey coming on the blitz here. He's going to hit the A-gap. Short delay and go. Fortunately, Patterson able to recognize that one early enough to escape and get rid of the football and avoid the sack.
Saw Korsak catch the ball. He's about to catch it again as the punter, and in that role for the first time in this game. The Riders have been so good at moving the football on offense. So Korsak just outside his 30. And the Aussie sends this one just inside the 30 after a punt of 38 for James Letcher. Gets it up across the Alouette 35. Shea Patterson had to throw it away. Mustafa Johnson bearing down, and he hit another Alouette on the sideline. Going down hard. Wally Wanda. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Friday Night Football on TSN. Here in Montreal, 10-3, Riders lead. Alouettes with the ball. Charleston Rambo tried to break free, but Amari Henderson, newly inserted into that lineup at the boundary corner, hangs on and makes the tackle.
Yeah, Amari Henderson getting into the lineup, 3rd-year Rider. Waiting for his opportunity, gets in this week in place of Deontay Williams at that boundary corner spot. Williams had been among the most targeted DBs in the league thus far.
2nd and 8, throwing again, Tyson Philpott. The Alouettes leading receiver, 3rd in the Canadian Football League in receiving yards, has himself a catch, but it's not enough for a first down, and the punting unit will come on. A 2 and out for the Alouettes.
Well, we showed the graphic earlier about how important the yards after catch are in the offensive schemes of both of these teams. But avoiding missed tackles, coming up and making plays, going to be critical to defensive success in this one. The big defensive play there to contain Tyson Philpott.
So Joseph Zima on to punt for the 2nd time in this first half, standing at his 30. And with the wind shifting, certainly the leg respected by Mario Alford, back getting it and heading right out of bounds. A beautiful punt by Zima. Allows Alford with nothing. 51-yard punt. Shea Patterson back in Montreal. More on that story from Ken Saskatchewan. He did briefly here in Montreal a few years back. Let's go back to Kenzie.
Yeah, Rod, the duel all started right here in Montreal. Shea Patterson was the first one to arrive in the Alouettes late in September of 2021, and then a few short weeks later, it was Trevor Harris. And actually, September 17th is when Shea Patterson arrived. Trevor Harris later in October, and just after a few practices, Trevor Harris actually jumped into a game in the 4th quarter for the Alouettes against Saskatchewan on October 30th. He actually got the Alouettes' lone touchdown in that very game. Shea Patterson reflecting on that moment this week, saying it was pretty impressive considering he only had a few practices under his belt, jumped into that 4th quarter and made a difference. But Shea Patterson very appreciative for those early memories with Trevor Harris, watching him, learning from him, especially just learning the art of what it means to be a pro.
And Kenzie, that was a turbulent year at quarterback for the Alouettes. Mentioned Vernon Adams, Matthew Schultz there and got hurt, and ended up being Trevor Harris and Shea Patterson. The Alouettes have challenged roughing the punter on that Alouette punt. So let's see what exactly Jason Moss is challenging here as Joseph Zima got it away, Dwayne.
Yeah, you had a rusher come free and dive for this one, missed the ball, not contact. until, as you saw, Zima had both feet back on the ground and sort of tripped over the fallen Rider player.
Nick Daly, the one coming in, barely any contact after the ball was punted. Here's the decision.
Montreal challenged the previous play for roughing the kicker. It was reviewed by the command center and the ruling on the field stands. Montreal will lose their second timeout.
Having already taken one earlier, Byron Archambault, the special teams coordinator, not liking that. But it is nonetheless Rider football just outside their 15. And a 1st and 10 and a 7-point lead starting deep in their own zone. Riders have been running the football very well. Frankie Hickson, 8 carries, 73 yards. A little play action fake, rolling out to the right, caught one-handed by Keyshawn Johnson. A great catch. He's taken down there by Najee Murray. Good left hand there. That grab by Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson just stabs this one out of the air. All in stride, but good coverage from the Alouettes to limit the damage.
Call it a 2-yard gain. There was a bit of a spectacle, but it's still 2nd and long.
Highlight reel 2-yard catch.
It was. It's still a 2nd and 8 here. It is caught. It's Johnson again, and this is a first down. Maybe not as spectacular a catch, but a much bigger play to buy a lot of space for the Roughriders.
Yeah, watch Frankie Hickson in the backfield step up to block the oncoming linebacker, Darnell Sankey. Give his quarterback time to zip this one. Gave up a little bit of the inside edge there. Needs to have stronger inside position, but nonetheless did enough to keep his quarterback clean.
Gain of 22, up to the Rider 40. Patterson 7 for 10. Taking the handoff again, dumping it off to Samuel Emelis. One of the tops in the CFL in yardage after the catch, Emelis. And does a lot of the work after he snags the ball to get another first down for the Riders across their 50.
Yeah, Emelis working across the formation, releasing to the flat here. Something of a homecoming game for him from the greater Montreal area. Former star here at the Cégep level at Vanier Cheetahs.
Had a great conversation with Matthew Shinetti in the pregame show about his inspiration in the CFL. Frankie Hickson. Talk about an inspirational night for number 20. He has their touchdown, and he's just run for another first down into the Alouette zone.
And again, you see the quickness, the bounce, the spark provided in this run game by Frankie Hickson. That lateral cut behind his center, Peter Godber. Godber's on Mustafa Johnson. Show left, quick jump cut right. Get it north-south in a hurry. Nice run there from Hickson.
Big block there by the right tackle, Jacob Brammer, newcomer replacing Jamarcus Hardrick. Hickson with 88 yards rushing. Adding to the total here, put him over 90 easily. So he gets it down to the 35. Who had Saskatchewan's running game dominating on the bingo card for this one against that Montreal defense?
I mentioned earlier, Joe being asked to do a lot of blocking in the early going of this ball game. Big receiver, 6'3", 220. Some physical play there against the Alouettes. Titus Wall sealing off the backside. Coming off his first career 100-yard game. Speaking of 100 yards, Riders almost had that mark in rushing yards tonight.
Most of it Hickson's. Here's a throw deep down for Bade. To keep the feet in bounds, Sean Bade. And no, calling it incomplete. Caught the ball, just didn't keep the feet in.
Yeah, it appeared Bade might have been just out of bounds. He's the outside receiver on this one. Closest to the sideline, but keep an eye at Samuel Emelis. Working out to the flat. Nicely placed ball in between those two defenders, but Bain backing up, steps just out of bounds before he catches that one.
Well, it's third and a good full 2 yards for Corey Mace, and they're going to bring Brett Lother out, and he'll put his tee down, and Corsack will hold it for him, and he'll try a 43-yarder. Hit a shorter one earlier, 22 yards, back in the first quarter. This to increase the lead to 10. Lother, who missed a 57-yard try also in that previous quarter. But 3 more on the board for Saskatchewan. 13-3, they lead it. That's right.
You've got obstacle course written all over you.
Thank you for your confidence.
I believe.
I may have to decline. I just didn't get my application in soon enough. Alouette football now down by 10 from their 40, rolling out. Caleb Evans, and it's low for Cole Speaker. And it is incomplete.
A missed opportunity here for Cole Speaker. Caleb Evans showing off his mobility, getting outside of the pocket. Does a good job getting the shoulders squared downfield. Delivers this ball well to Speaker, but there you saw just a drop.
Definitely a catchable football for Speaker. So 2nd and 10 now. Evans has already thrown 11 passes against Saskatchewan a year ago. He threw 13 all game. 4-man rush. Throwing again. That's caught. Charleston Rambo. And Rambo has it in to the Saskatchewan zone as he gets it across midfield. A gain of 18 yards for the first-year Alouette Rambo.
And Rambo, big-time NCAA star. Miami and Oklahoma. Spent some time in the National Football League immediately with an outstanding training camp. Started drawing comparisons to Austin Mack, Yale's receiving sensation last year. His impact hasn't been as immediate, but he's coming.
Evans gets rid of it. He has Rambo open, but it's that's Reggie White, the intended receiver. Had him open, but just a bit too far. First target of the night for Reggie White.
Yeah, Reggie White out wide on this one. Quads out to that side of the field. Fake the hitch screen, get in behind. Just an overthrow there. Once again, missed opportunity for a big play there for the Alouettes.
Who have a 2nd and 10 now at the Rider 52. They're trailing 13-3. 4 minutes to go until halftime. Evans. Off the fingertips. You don't see that often. Tyson Philpott can't hang on, and you have to think he was thinking of the yardage after the catch. The defender charging in, but just can't hang on to the football.
Yeah, no doubt. This is a series that's going to leave Jason Moss and the Alouettes offensive group shaking their heads a little bit at what could have been. 2 rare drops from receivers and a miss on an open receiver for Caleb Evans.
So instead, that drive ends just across midfield. Zima's back on to punt it inside the Alouette 45 for Mario Alford. Sean Bain Jr., the one taking it. Back there with Alford. Bain has it. Gets it up just shy of the 20 after a punt of 47 yards. Joe, who came on after the injury to Kean Schaefer-Baker last week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
There you see his numbers against Winnipeg, as mentioned. First career 100-yard game for the young man. We've seen him come off the bench a couple of times and be highly productive. Highly regarded prospect who slipped down to the 7th round of the draft this year.
Taking the handoff and throwing it to Sean Bain. And good work after the Riders. Still plenty of time before the half as we get closer to the 3-minute warning.
Yeah, and I like this piece of play calling for Mark Mueller and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We've seen them a couple times go with some kind of simple plays, short passes, shovel pass type things to get the ball in the hands of Sean Bain. I mentioned he only had 2 receptions in each of Saskatchewan's previous couple of games. This is a guy, a big-time playmaker, one of the top receivers in the league last season. They just missed on a deep shot to him earlier. They want to keep him involved.
And back in the ground, and this time nothing is there, which has been a rarity on the night as Hickson gets closer to 100. But nothing there, and the 3-minute warning has been issued. Saskatchewan leading.
It's an Olympic edition of Halftime. I'm going to give these medals to the panelists with the best breakdown. Who are we kidding? We all know it's Lapo. Here you go, Lapo.
He's not on a piano.
The multi-talented, multifaceted Paul Alouettes came to panel at halftime. Thoughts on this one? Riders at the 35, second and 10. Patterson, he's running around and he gets it away, and it's caught by Alouettes up at the 40. It'll be still shy of a first down by a good 5 yards. Pick up a 5 there for the Riders. Third down coming up, so the Owls will get the ball back before the end of this first half, and a chance to dig into that Saskatchewan lead.
Yeah, no doubt. A big stop there defensively for the Alouettes. And certainly an opportunity here after an uneven first half offensively to cut this to a 1-score lead.
Sack. And the waiting James Letcher at the 30. Goes back to the right. 40-yard punt. Gets an edge. Gets some room. And tries to get it out to the 40. Just shy of that. So 2:01 on the clock. I mentioned Caleb Evans had 2 starts for the injured Cody Fajardo a year ago and won them both. One against the Riders when he threw only 13 times. This was last August. Montreal won big time. There was a touchdown to Austin Mack. They won 41-12, and then the next week, Dwayne, they were down 2 scores late in Ottawa. Caleb Evans getting a start against his old team, brought him back, took it to the end zone, and Montreal won that one as well.
Yeah, big anytime you can get wins, get some momentum going with your backup quarterback in the ball game. Caleb Evans certainly delivering that last year, and you know, settling into kind of a niche here. This is a guy who got thrown into the fire in Ottawa.
Good throw there to Tyson Philpott. Another 2 minutes to go until halftime. And a second down coming up. And yeah, you're right. I mean, and it was in 2021, and Lapo, just mentioning Paul Alouette's name, can remember well, having with the quarterback injuries they had in Ottawa, having to basically throw Caleb Evans to the fire. And he had a good start. He won his first start against Edmonton back in 21.
Yeah, no, exactly. Got off to a good start, but obviously challenges were going to be faced by a true rookie, a guy in his first year straight out of college.
That one's hit at the line of scrimmage. His 4th year at a Louisiana Monroe, but that one falls down, and Anthony Lanier is the one who got his mid up on that one of Evans. So it's a punting situation for the 5-1 Alouettes against the 5-1 Riders. Another look at what happened here.
Yeah, and there you see big Anthony Lanier, and you just look at his frame, right? The long limbs. He gets even close. That Willie Jefferson element. Go-go gadget arms, able to get a piece of that football and affect the pass.
Alford, the lone returner, back. Awaiting the punt by Zema. More heat by the Riders. Alford just outside his 20 to get it. And the ball came out. Alouettes have it. Late in the first half. And the Riders turn it over at a critical point. The flag is out. Louis-Philippe Bourassa, the long snapper, is the one that has it, but Alford coughed up the football, and good coverage there by the Alouettes on that punt. We await the flag. And what a critical call this could be.
We'll get another quick look at this
Tripping. Saskatchewan number 38. That penalty be declined. The result of the play is a fumble recovered by Montreal. First down.
That's close too.
That's real close.
Really
yeah.
Close. You see Alfred's knees just like touching as the ball's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Will we get the challenge here from Corey Mace? Apparently not.
Challenge flag stays in his pocket. Alouette football. And a chance to get some more points on the board, but going back, and they nearly had him. He has to throw that one away. And just barely gets it across the line of scrimmage to avoid a grounding call. Out of bounds, Anthony Lanier.
Yeah, and we've seen this a few times. Will be Lanier once again, this time coming from towards the bottom of your screen. Apply the pressure, and Adam Auclair converging on the Alouette quarterback. Evans just doing all he can. Obviously facing good coverage from the Saskatchewan secondary, taking away those quick reads from the Alouette quarterback.
Certainly doesn't want to run them out of field goal range. Down he goes, and that certainly hurts their field goal chances. Brian Cox coming in for the sack. His second sack of the season and a loss of 12. Still field goal range, but it is suddenly a much longer try coming up here for Jose Maltos.
Yeah, watch Brian Cox from his defensive end position. He's going to lower his shoulder, get up under the offensive tackle, Josh Donovan, a little bit. Drive him back to the quarterback for the sack.
Now Malto's longest, and this is just his third game taking over for David Cote. His longest is 50. This would be a 48-yard try. When just the play before, the Alouettes had been comfortably closer. And if it's wide, you got number 2 waiting in the end zone. And that can be dangerous. We've seen that before. Maltos trying to put 3 on the board. Blocked, and Marcus Sales scoops it up. Saskatchewan football. They're inside the Alouette zone, inside the 50, under a minute to go, but still 46 seconds, lots of time for Patterson and the Rider offense.
Yeah, remarkable final 2.5 minutes going on in this first half. Long field goal attempt for Maltos, which is going to contribute to a lower trajectory on the kick. This gives the defense a greater opportunity, obviously, to block it, as you're not getting the initial lift that you would on a shorter attempt. I think you're going to see in the middle of the line, things get dented, and once again, big Anthony Lanier, number 91, uses his wingspan to get a piece of that one.
Well, Lanier's had a first half, hasn't he? The fake to Hickson. The throw. Bain has it. First down yardage and out of bounds quickly. 41 seconds until halftime. And a 10-point Rider lead, looking for more. Late flag coming out as they help up the center, Peter Godber.
After the play, we have 15-yard misconducts on each team. 51 Saskatchewan, 98 Montreal. Result of the play is a first down.
So Godber and Dylan Wynn getting in the thick of it, so they cancel each other out. Anthony Lanier, another look at this one.
Yeah, take a look at Lanier in the middle of that defense. Drives the gap. Dents it, gets a hand up. Big block and an opportunity to help his team add to their lead here late in the first half.
Good work by the punter Zima to prevent Sales from scooping it and scoring. The Montreal 39, first and 10, Hickson. Just a couple of yards there.
Well, Frankie Hickson has been the story of this first half. into this ball game at running back for Saskatchewan in place of A.J. Alouette. Hickson has provided quite a spark for the big green O.
He's pushing 100 yards in this first half. 2nd and 8. It's caught. Jared Stearns inside the 30. First down. And inside the 20. Into the red zone. Finally tackled by Marc-Antoine Dequoy. But here come the Riders with 18 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is a nice effort after the catch by the second-year Rough Rider Jared Stearns. To slip the first tackle, split the next two. Finally, the safety Dequoy brings him down.
Gain of 19. Whistled down on the snap of the ball. March back against the Riders.
Procedure. Saskatchewan number 61. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Flagging the left tackle Trevor Reed for procedure. So a 1st and 15. 12 seconds to go until halftime. 10-point Rider lead.
We reset the clock to 13.3 seconds.
Did I say 12? What I meant was 13 point, what was it?
13.3.
13.3 seconds for Corey Mace and his offense to see what they can do. As our producer John Hines points out, it is a 13-3 game, very methodical.
We have a theme.
We do. Keeps coming, gets rid of it. Emelis down inside the 15. 8 seconds. 2nd down.
And maybe an opportunity to run one more play.
The end zone shot.
Well, I think obviously you don't have to force it, but and they decide that they're not going to risk it even.
So it is a 2nd down, but Corey Mace taking no chances as Brett Lawther, the field goal kicker, is on. Looking for the 3 on the road in a tough place to play, especially this season against the 5-1 Alouettes. And they have a chance for a 13-point lead at halftime. A 22-yard try. Lawther already has one of those. He's 2 for 3 in this half. Make that 3 for 4. So it is indeed 16-3 Saskatchewan as they score on the final play of this first half. Didn't know what to expect with the changes because of injury, including Saskatchewan running back A.J. Alouette out, and in comes Frankie Hickson, and what a first half he had.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic from the word go in this football game. Opening series for the Riders, it was clear they were looking to establish Frankie Hickson in the ground game, and they have done that and then some. He has been the most impressive player on the field through the opening 30 minutes of this ball game, Rob.
And Frankie Hickson now standing by with Kenzie Lalonde.
Popular man here, Frankie Hickson joining me now. A.J. Alouette goes down. Here you are, next man up mentality. A whopping game, just your 2nd here with the Rough Riders. 98 yards, you got the lone touchdown. Just can you kind of talk to me about your mindset here in the first half?
It's just next man up mentality. And speaking of AJ, this is exactly what AJ would want. We all just work really, really hard in the running back room, led by him. He shows us what hard work and what being a pro is, and we just step in our roles and do what we have to do.
The running game continues to be effective for you guys, so how do you just keep it going?
We just keep doing what Coach has for us. He's got a great game plan. The coaches always do have a great game plan, and we just follow what they say.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
It's out for the Riders, of course, offensively, just the amount they've been able to run the football, but also their defense. Dominant again against Charleston Rambo and that Alouette offense. Here's Rambo now with Kenzie Lalonde.
Well, Charleston looking to get this offense going. Just what were the discussions amongst the receivers, amongst Caleb Evans, on how to better connect here moving ahead?
Yeah, just us being great for them. You know, we got to back up in. We just got to be better for the guys that come in, and we make a switch, we get better for him. But just us being us.
When you do get control of this ball and this offense go to work, just what do you want to see on your first opening drive?
I want a touchdown. First coming out, you know, we get the ball first coming out second half, so we need a touchdown right here.
Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Something to get them going, Dwayne. I mean, you look at how different it is, the yardage and offense for both of these teams also standing out. Just 4 rushing yards for the Alouettes.
Yeah, and Montreal came into this game obviously well aware of Saskatchewan's production, their reputation against the run. Most effective defense in the Canadian Football League in terms of run defense so far. But I do believe that, as Jim Barker suggested at halftime, if you're having trouble running the ball, you need to find other ways to get the ball into the hands of Walter Fletcher, who's been one of the Alouettes' best offensive weapons so far this season.
So a couple of examples, short passes in space and what he can do afterwards. So Alouettes will get the ball first on the Lothar kickoff to start the second half. James Letcher breaks through, still going, and a good return to get things started. And will there be more? Wanting a flag there on DeMarcus Fields, and they do get one after he is late out of bounds on Letcher.
And based on his torrid
Major
second
foul,
half.
unnecessary roughness, 22 Saskatchewan, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Torrid second half to last season for James Letcher. Maybe kind of a quiet start for him to 2024. Nice return there, however, and aided by penalty. Tremendous opening field position to start the second half with Davis Alexander under center for the Alouettes.
So there you go. Quarterback change made at the half by Jason Moss. In his third year out of Portland State, Davis Alexander takes over that Alouette offense, his first reps of the season, and he hands off to Walter Fletcher. The flag comes out as he gets it down to about the 35.
Holding, Montreal number 39. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
But it's coming back. Davis Alexander, this is third year. In the first 2 years, a total of 21 passes thrown. He completed 14 for 145, no touchdowns, 1 interception, and 22 yards of rushing. But this is his chance now with Cody Fajardo going on the 6th game. And there you see Fajardo, earpiece in and chatting it over with Caleb Evans, who had what turned out to be a pretty rough first half. The fumble that led to the Ryder touchdown, and it's Alexander throwing. And it is caught too. That's Reggie White. Has the catch to get some of that yardage back.
And you've got to like this from Reggie White. Going out and making a play for his quarterback. Not a perfectly thrown ball. But White moving to his right. Goes and gets that one, makes a play.
Picks up 7 on that 1st and 20. So down to the Ryder 45 at a 2nd and 13 now. Davis Alexander. Blitz coming. They had him. He got away. Straightens out his helmet and completes the pass too for Tyson Philpott. What a recovery by Alexander. Losing his helmet, touching his face mask there, and he gets a 30-yard pickup. So he eludes the rush and gets it to Tyson Philpott.
That middle linebacker, Jameer Thurman, is going to be blitzing on the play. Walter Fletcher steps over into the gap to get him, but they're crashing things down. Nice escape there from Alexander, gets the eyes downfield. Tyson Philpott lets him know he's there. Nice duck there to escape C.J. Rivas.
Rivas was the one that got him on top of the helmet, but it was loose and then moved it, and he had to straighten it out to throw the pass. 1st and 10. Setting up a screen to Jeshurun Antwerp. Inside the 10 he goes. Starting at the Ryder 15, so a 2nd down and short is coming up here for the Alouettes.
Hot start here for Davis Alexander out of Portland State. He had a tremendous college career. And you see at the bottom of that, particularly noteworthy after he showed off some of that mobility, 25 rushing touchdowns, over 1,200 rushing yards in his career.
Did he ever show off that mobility a couple of plays ago when the heat was coming by the Riders? Got away. Big completion, now a 2nd and 5. Saskatchewan 10. Throwing. Caught. Philpott. 1st and goal coming up as he gets it down inside the 5. And more activity now suddenly from Tyson Philpott after a quiet first half.
Davis Alexander Apparently injecting some life into this Montreal Alouettes offense. Philpott, as you said, his favorite target so far.
Philpott suddenly the Alouettes' leading receiver. 4 catches, 48 yards, 30 coming in one play just earlier in this drive. A first and goal at the Saskatchewan 3. Some light for the Alouettes to start the second half with Davis Alexander handing off against that rush defense. It's hard to like any team's chances the way they're playing right now. The Alouettes with only 4 yards rushing in the first half, and they had nothing going on right there.
Yeah, watch off the left side of your screen coming from out of the picture. Malik Carney looping to the inside. Just Riders had the right stunt on defensively. I don't think that was Carney going off script as he looped in behind his defensive tackle to fill the gap and make the play.
The CFL's #1 defense against the run, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and that is holding true again in this one. But the Alouettes still knocking at the door. Second and goal at the Saskatchewan 5. To throw. Eluding the rush again. And it's a touchdown! Reggie White. Montreal gets the ball to start the second half, and they immediately go down the field and cut into the Rider lead.
Welcome to the show, Davis Alexander. Quarterbacking change has exactly the desired effect on this Alouette offense. Alexander marching his team down the field. Reggie White with the major.
Injuries derailed his season last year and the start of this season. His first touchdown of the season, Reggie White. The point after for Maltos after a 7-play, 68-yard drive. Davis Alexander getting the with apologies to Reggie White. Not his first of the season, his third. He had a couple against Ottawa a few weeks ago after a long injury layoff. This is a big one to get the Owls back in the game, Dwayne.
Yeah, and you're going to see inside receiver goes to the flat. Tyson Philpott gets an outside release. Reggie White is coming from the outside and just works down underneath. The other 2 receivers draw the attention. White is sort of the forgotten man. He doesn't continue down to the inside. He wants to stay open, and particularly as his quarterback bounces to the outside on the scramble, he mirrors him back towards the sideline to stay open as pursuit comes from the inside, leaving himself available to receive that touchdown pass.
Davis Alexander, a couple of big passing plays in that drive, using his mobility, getting out of the pocket. So Saskatchewan ball, Alford on the return up to the Rider 40, but momentum swings back to the Alouettes, who are trailing it by 6.
Yeah, tremendous drive. Coming off the bench to start this second half. The escape, a big play for Davis Alexander. Perfect, 5 for 5. Throwing the football on this drive, culminating with the Reggie White touchdown.
Touchdown number 3 in the season for White, and touchdown number 1 thrown in the CFL by Davis Alexander. And his first possession here in this season, and you can see the offside by a long shot. Bryce Cosby coming in early, and yeah, going against the Alouettes.
Offside. Montreal number 33. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Alouettes trying to time up that blitz at the line of scrimmage. Bryce Cosby coming off the edge was a little early with that one.
Well across the line of scrimmage before the snap of the football. So a first and 5. Back to the ground, Frankie Hickson, why not? He is over 100 yards for the night. That carry does it for Hickson, who had 98 in the first half and 8 more yards to start the second half. 106 for Frankie Hickson.
Picking up where he left off, and also going to that run game, slowing things down a little bit after that hot start by Davis Alexander, maybe looking to quiet the crowd a little bit, take away that momentum by slowing the pace going to that run game.
13 carries, 106 yards. in the first start of the season for Frankie Hickson, with only one carry heading into this game this season. Has it again, breaks a tackle, gets across midfield. And he makes something out of apparently nothing with Wesley Sutton in there to make contact first, but Hickson got away.
I love the move here. Sutton is right at the bottom of your screen, number 37. The halfback, he's creeping up. He's forced player at the point of attack. Hickson just freezes him and then darts inside. Beautiful move there from the Rider running back.
3 yards, but it could have been a loss. 2nd and 7, just inside the Alouette zone. Riders trying to steal momentum back. 5 rushing. Mustafa Johnson nearly got him. And then cleaning up to get him is Avery Ellis. And the Alouettes have a sack. They finally get to Shea Patterson. And it's 3rd down. And they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, Mustafa Johnson is going to come first, and then further to your left, top of your screen, Avery Ellis there to clean up. Johnson, great job with the hands just to keep Logan Ferland from getting hands on him in pass protection. He runs through Avery Ellis, looking to pick up some of that slack in the absence of the suspended Sean Lemon. The veteran presence off the edge for the Alouettes.
A momentum swing in Montreal as the Alouettes about to get the ball back. And a good punt here by Corsa, chasing Letcher down to the Alouette 10, 53-yard punt. Letcher, he's still going, a flag is out, across the 40, across the 50, down near midfield, but a flag did come out in that big return by Letcher of 41 yards. Sending the flag, Shea Patterson. Looks like he's got an injury to his left arm, favoring that as he headed off the field after that sack by Avery Ellis.
Take a look at the bottom left corner of your screen, number 41, Bryce Notary. He is the penalized Alouette on this play, blocking Herdman Reed. You see he rides him on the back a little too long, trying to allow Letcher to pass. But that being right at the point where Letcher is making his break. The official eyes are on it. He's going to bring this one back.
Penalty by 41, negating a 41-yard return by Letcher. So deeper in the zone, Alexander back to work. Davis Alexander is now 6 for 6 since being inserted in this lineup. He completes that one up for a big first down to Tyson Philpott.
Well, you gotta love the confidence with which he zings this one into a tight window. And Tyson Philpott has demonstrated he'll go get that one despite the safety, Nelson Lacombo, lurking in the middle waiting for him.
Just a perfect early start to the second half for Davis Alexander in his season debut. Played very sparingly in the previous 2 seasons in relief of Caleb Evans. 4 receivers out to the right, and that hit screen goes to Philpott, who gets it up across the 40. So a gain of about 4 yards, close to 5.
Good job there from the Saskatchewan defense containing the always dangerous Tyson Philpott after the catch. But nonetheless, the consecutive completion streak of Davis Alexander remains alive.
Now 7 for 7 for 82 yards. And just his second drive here in the second half. 4-man rush, throwing again, completing again. Reggie White, who had the touchdown from Alexander earlier in this half. And that is enough for a Montreal first down, just shy of their 50.
Well, Reggie White is going to sit this one down. Davis Alexander getting the ball out of his hands quickly. You know, when you think back to the first half, remember that a number of times it seemed like Caleb Evans held on to the ball for a long time, ended up scrambling, whether he was second-guessing himself on reads or if there was really nothing there. But Alexander certainly seems to be finding receivers, making his decisions quickly and getting that ball out of there.
He's been the story in the second half, no question about that. Still a 6-point Rider lead. Swinging it out for Fletcher. Yards after the catch as he gets it up near midfield as the ball rolls out of bounds. Still Montreal football, but that pickup of about 5 yards. Second down coming up. Fletcher got that in behind the line of scrimmage and broke a tackle. Pick up more yardage.
Yeah, a couple of quick hitters here back to back for Davis Alexander. So we saw the ball come loose at the tail end of the play. But Fletcher is down. There you get another angle, and that's that landing.
The shoestring.
Saskatchewan is challenging that there was a fumble on the play, and they were the last to touch it before it went out of bounds.
The shoestring tackle there by C.J. Rivas. Corey Mace challenges, thinks it's a fumble. Looked like he was down. We'll see what the command center. Look at Al Bradbury in the command center as they're looking at the tackle on Walter Fletcher and whether this is a fumble.
Yeah, and it seemed pretty clear that his landing caused the ball to pop loose. Brought down, knee down, elbow hits. And that's what forces the ball out.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. Saskatchewan will be charged their second timeout.
So Corey Mace loses that challenge. Alouette football, a 2nd and 5 is shy of midfield. Mace's Riders really controlling this game in the first half, thanks to brilliant defense and being able to run the football, control the clock. But momentum has changed a bit here with Davis Alexander in at quarterback. He's yet to throw an incomplete pass. There's another completion. That's Cole Speaker who's got it, and then there's another first down for Montreal inside the Rider 50.
And you always have to appreciate a backup quarterback, whether veteran guy, young guy, whatever the case, being ready to jump into the game in any circumstance, and that certainly has been Davis Alexander here tonight, red hot since coming out to start this second half in place of Caleb Evans. Perfect, 10 for 10.
For number 10. And the drive continues, 1st and 10. Saskatchewan 46, back to Fletcher. They're trying to establish a bit of a running game here, or at least get the ball in Fletcher's hands more often, but that carry pretty well matches what they did on the ground in the first half.
Yeah, the rushing yards have been hard to come by, and as I said, the Alouettes knew they would be. Saskatchewan, #1 defense in the Canadian Football League against the run so far this season. Go to the passing game.
Caleb Evans started. He was 9 for 17, 91 yards. No touchdowns, none intercepted, but he did have a fumble that led to a Rider touchdown. 2nd and 7. Philpott taken down. Nice tackle there by Marcus Sales to prevent further damage for the Owls. And now we'd like to welcome viewers in TSN 1 and 5 have been watching women's golf. Rod Smith, Dwayne Ford, Kenzie Lalonde, and Davis Alexander in at quarterback to start the second half for Montreal has them moving.
Yeah, and we said Frankie Hickson playing in place of A.J. Ouellette tonight was the story of the first half. Well, Davis Alexander coming in place of Caleb Evans. The story of the second half so far.
Throwing again. Wow, Alexander.
For many years, Rod, The most popular Davis to play for the Montreal Alouettes was our friend Mr. Sanchez. He's a distant second right now. Davis Alexander, absolutely on fire.
Hey, Jesse was great. I don't know in one half he made a mark in his first ever half, really, with the Alouettes. Been around for a couple of years as Davis Alexander, but what an impression he's made. He's 12 for 12. He's now thrown for 147 yards, 31 of it here, connecting to Reggie White again with his 4th touchdown of the season, and the Alouettes now lead. But really his first chance to show what he can do as a CFL quarterback, and doing more than embracing it. He's 12 for 12, 147, 2 touchdown passes, 2 possessions that have gone 4 touchdowns. And for the first time in this game, the Alouettes have the lead by 1 point over the Riders, who had led 16-3. Off the kickoff, Mario Alford. And he gets tackled. Cosby in there along with Arthur Hamlin on special teams. So Jay Patterson 13 of 17 for 138, and he looked like his left arm or shoulder might have been hurt going off the last time, but back he comes again.
And looking to get some momentum back for his team here.
15-yard misconduct foul. Saskatchewan number 90. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Tom Valesi announcing that penalty against Miles Brown, the misconduct. He was talking it over with his head coach, Corey Mace. That'll push Patterson and the Rider offense to start back closer to their 20.
And as they say, don't compound mistakes with more mistakes. I would say the same about adversity. Misconduct penalty coming at a time when Montreal has a momentum.
Well, if there was a risk of the crowd here at Molson Stadium getting quiet, it doesn't exist now. Stirred up, and that'll help quiet things down a bit for the Riders. The ball comes out after the catch by Keyshawn Johnson, and they advance it. Sean Bain picks up the fumble, and they get further down close to the Alouette 35.
Well, fortunately positioned Sean Bain. Big strike here from Shea Patterson. We talk about responses, what you want to see when your team is in a tough spot. Big throw there by Patterson. Nice catch by Johnson.
But it's coming back, Dwayne. It's coming back. All the way back by the looks of things.
We'll wait to hear the ruling here. Possibly a formation issue for the Riders.
Procedure. Saskatchewan, no end. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So the issue comes with right tackle Jacob Brammer. He's not counted on to be the end, but because he's so far off the line of scrimmage, he's not counting as one of your 7 on the line of scrimmage. The wide receiver out wide essentially gets labeled as the tackle, and there is no end.
Puts them all the way back to their 16. Negated a huge play. Play action fake. Patterson off to the right, and that is caught by Samuel Emlis, who was hit after catching it, knocking it out, and that's right around first down yardage for Saskatchewan.
A big throw there from Shea Patterson to the Riders' leading receiver. Emlis goes up and gets it, and they will officially move the sticks.
They waited, and he just had enough. 2 seconds left in this third quarter. What a quarter it's been for Montreal. 2 possessions with a new quarterback and 2 touchdowns to take the lead. Patterson throwing again to Clint Ratkovich, who had the only touchdown for the Riders in their victory over Winnipeg last week. So he gets a touch. Final 1 of the third quarter. But my goodness, things have changed a bit around here for fans in Montreal. Frankie Hickson's running. But back came Davis Alexander. Reggie White and the Alouettes with a 1-point lead. Changed by the Alouettes. Dwayne Davis Alexander, a number 3 quarterback, getting his chance after Jason Moss decided to pull Caleb Evans at halftime.
Yeah, a number 3 quarterback, certainly not looking like a number 3 quarterback, doing a terrific job. You still saw the rushing yards. Montreal still only has 5 rushing yards in this football game. They knew it was going to be tough sledding. They needed to find a way to throw the football. Davis Alexander has proven to be their best option doing that. Absolutely terrific. Nothing short of perfect in the third quarter.
147 yards, all in the third quarter for Davis Alexander, who's 3 for 3, by the way, when the Riders try to blitz him. So yeah, they're trying to send some heat, but he's been able to handle that too. And so the Riders, dominant through much of this game, start the fourth quarter trailing by a point. 17-16 Owls. Shea Patterson, 2nd and 4 after 37. Gets away from the rush and completes the pass. It is Joe who gets it up to the 44. What a story he was last week, coming on after the injury to Kean Schaefer-Baker.
Yeah, lined up out wide here. You're going to see him work back to the line of scrimmage as his quarterback gets on the scramble. Easy grab there for the rookie receiver, the pride of Brooks, Alberta. Move from Brooks to the Edmonton area to play high school football under former CFL receiver Brock Ralph at Harry Ainley.
Got the catch for 7 yards and a first down. Back to Frankie Hickson. He still finds his way through. When it looked like the Alouettes would be all over him, he still managed to get it up to the 50. And that'll set up a 2nd and short. More good running by Frankie Hickson.
Yeah, strong night for the Saskatchewan running back. Limited opportunities for him in that third quarter as the Alouettes had the football for over 10 minutes, kind of turning the tables on the Riders.
Call it a 2nd and 3. Saskatchewan. Up near midfield. Quick throw, complete, first down and more. Samuel Emelis taken down by Kavian Ento, but he does get it into the Alouette zone inside their 50.
Yeah, on the right side of the field, Emelis and Ajo working in combination there. Ajo goes out, clears things, Emelis cuts underneath for the quick hitter from Shea Patterson.
And a pickup of 11 yards for Samuel Emelis, their leading receiver. 5 catches, 53 yards on the night. Hickson and first down, cuts back and eventually runs into a blue wall shy of the 45. Mustafa Johnson. Darnell Sankey. The Alouette defense stiffens there. 2nd and long coming up for the Riders.
And you talk about strength up the middle. That combination of Mustafa Johnson and Darnell Sankey in the middle of the Alouettes defense, making life very difficult for Mr. Hickson.
Oh yeah, you can hear those air horns. A staple here at Molson Stadium. Fans pick up the energy in a 2nd and 8. Riders knocked away at the line of scrimmage. Knocked down, 3rd and 8. Darnell Sankey, and it'll force the Riders offense off the field. And Patterson, helmet off, slow to get up.
And here you see that pocket gets collapsed. Sankey, the man with the knockdown. Patterson taken down hard by Jeffrey Cantin-Arcou.
A 53-yard try coming up here for Brett Lothar, going the same way in the first half. He tried from 57, and it just hit the crossbar. No. Hits the bar again. So Lothar's tried 2 long ones, and 0 for 2 in that department. More than 50 yards. left. And this time he hits the upright. It was long enough, just a little wide left. At football, they had only 2 possessions in the third quarter, led by that man, Davis Alexander. Both resulted in touchdowns to take the lead. First time with it in the fourth quarter. Rolling right. It's almost caught.
There's a flag.
And a flag is out. That was intended for Tyson Philpott, who had daylight ahead. I was going to say no incompletions yet, and that still stands for Alexander.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan number 8. Spot of the foul, automatic first down.
And you see the tail end of this. The battle down the sideline, Marcus Sales, hand on the front of the jersey, a little clutch. Philpott trying to fight him off to get to that football.
And he still nearly had it.
Yeah, a narrow miss.
So on that penalty, now they're moving the yardsticks and putting it down at the Saskatchewan 50. 25-year-old Davis Alexander at Gig Harbor, Washington, went to Portland State. His 3rd year in the CFL. He's having a night so far to remember. Wow, that is the first incompletion for Alexander, a little bit behind Reggie White, who points to himself and says, my bad.
Yeah, had been perfect against pressure this time. The blitz forces a little inaccuracy in the throw, but take a moment and look back at the streak for Davis Alexander.
Completed his first 12 passes of the season, all in this second half, and is now 12 for 13, 147, 2 touchdowns, Ryder 50. That's just a short one to Fletcher. Yards after the catch inside the 40. First down, Montreal. Alexander just gets it off to Fletcher and makes use of his work after he gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and this is kind of how the Alouettes started off this ball game. Some high percentage completions to Walter Fletcher, and watch how he sets up the defenders, attack the outside, sort of press the edge. And you see him setting up number 17, Cole Speaker, to be in position to block his man, forcing the defender to take the outside shoulder of the blocker before he cuts it up inside to pick up a couple extra yards.
Just a different half for this Montreal Alouette team. Really beleaguered in the first half by all the running and the great defense by the Riders. Trailed 16-3. Now leading at 1st and 10 at the 38, Fletcher. And this has been the tough part for the Alouettes against that defensive front. As a little pushing and shoving after the fact as Fletcher does pick up some few yards though and gets about 5 there. Second down coming up.
Oh, second and manageable. You know it's been a tough night running the football when a 5-yard run feels like a home run. Alouettes with just 10 rushing yards in the ballgame so far.
After having just 4 in the first half. So yeah, more than doubled it. That's been tough sledding for Montreal in the running game. But they do have the lead, and they're in position to add to it on this possession. Alexander flushed out. Carney couldn't get him. Ball comes out. He pulled his arm back. And it's Montreal football regardless, with Cole Speaker picking it up and what appeared to be a fumble by Alexander. Was trying to cock his arm back to throw it, but it came out.
Yeah, he knows that the pressure is right there.
Is incomplete pass. 3rd down.
He's trying to avoid the sack, and that's a fumble. He lost it as he was drawing his arm up. I mean, ultimately, what it will affect is the placement of the ball as Cole Speaker was there to recover. But watch as he pulls his arm up. That's where the ball comes out, not on the forward motion, which would make it an incomplete pass.
So it ends up being a moot point anyway, with Speaker recovering it. Had it been ruled a fumble, but no incomplete pass.
Yeah, and that's young quarterback trying to do a little bit too much.
And now Command Center's reviewing this to see if it is indeed a fumble. And as Dwayne talked about it, it just it affects the spot of the ball. It's still Montreal football for a field goal try, but where?
Yeah, and oddly enough, the fumble ruling.
After step in by command center, the ball will be placed to the 29-yard foot line after a fumble. Be third down.
So the irony is that they benefit by virtue of it being a fumble rather than an incomplete pass.
So an Alouette fumble helps the Alouettes.
Well, it really benefits them because it's third and short and they're going for it.
You saw Caleb Evans there. Short yardage quarterback now. He got replaced by Davis Alexander, who heads off, but Evans coming on. And it is because they ruled it a fumble and Speaker recovered, got it a lot closer to a first down. It's a 3rd and 1, so the field goal unit goes off, and they're going to try to keep this drive going. Rarely do you see a team benefit from fumbling the football as much
when
as
the quarterback's trying to throw it away.
Caleb Evans back in, keeping it. Couldn't get much. Didn't need much though.
Yeah, it looked like he had it comfortably.
Needed less than a yard. It's a first down for the Alouettes. So after Speaker alertly fell on that fumble by Alexander, Alexander comes back on. Sticks move. Alouettes 1-point lead down to the Rider 28.
After that, flirting with disaster by Davis Alexander, hopefully getting to the bench for a minute there allowed him to have a moment with his head coach, Jason Moss, who may have told him just take a breath, right? You look at that situation, he probably would have been realistically better off taking the sack than trying to throw the ball away.
Little play fake, tons of time. He stands back there, can't find a receiver, just running around, wants to take off. Brown Cox couldn't get him, and he's trying to get it inside the 20, closer to another first down, and is he pulling up there a little bit with his left leg? Well, he seems fine now walking back, but kind of half that he's having.
Yeah, Alexander. 25 rushing touchdowns in college. We mentioned over 1,200 rushing yards, and we get a glimpse of that part of his game right here. Doesn't like what he sees. Tuck it and run, get what you can. I think he stepped on the first down marker on the ground. It may have tweaked an ankle a little bit.
And it's 2nd and short. He takes a seat. Caleb Evans back in again for the short yardage play. Evans was the quarterback in the first half. Keeps it left. Easy first down and more. Evans driving it down to the Saskatchewan 15 as they swap off again. This is just the 3rd possession for the Alouettes offense in this second half.
But they've made the most of all of them.
Have they ever? Touchdowns in the first 2, and they're in the red zone here in this possession. 12 first downs for Montreal's offense in this second half. They had 5 in the first half. From the Saskatchewan 17. Big moment here. Alexander. And they've got him. They had a good rush on him. He tried to cut it up and get something for it, but no. Lost yardage there for the Alouettes.
And good discipline on the pass rush there by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Micah Johnson, the first one upfield, coming from his defensive tackle spot. You're going to see how everybody stays in their lanes as Alexander steps up, retrace their steps to track him down. Don't leave any glaring gaps or spaces between levels in pursuit of the quarterback.
Micah Johnson, who came into this game with 3 sacks, leading the way for the Rider defense. 2nd and 12. Off to the right. It is caught. It is Speaker inside the 10. Taken down by Fields. Right out the first down marker. This is looking like a 1st and goal coming up here for Montreal again.
Well, Alexander Again, delivers the ball on time. Cole Speaker, yards after the catch. Makes a couple miss. Takes one for the team at the end. We've got an injured rider.
That's Amari Henderson, who just was inserted into the lineup on the corner for this game. We'll be back.
Pass turned fumble. And I label this play as probably Davis Alexander's only mistake of the night, which was not protecting the football when he was trying to throw it away when it didn't really matter. His only mistake of the night turns into maybe the Alouettes' most fortuitous play of the night. So you know you're having a pretty hot start when all the bounces go your way like that.
Well, it's got them down in scoring position again for Davis Alexander. Down to the lead, end zone. It is caught. It's out of bounds. Tyson Philpott had it, but couldn't land in. That angled end zone at the back. Distinctive here to the stadium at McGill.
Yeah, Philpott, number 6, outside receiver, closest to the top of your screen. It's just going to go down the rail here. A little stem inside. Break it out. He's got room. But just his momentum carries him out of bounds as he goes up to get that football.
All right, here we go. 2nd and goal now. 12th play of this drive. Alouettes, 1-point lead. Alexander under pressure. Down he goes again. Another sack. Micah Johnson, the sacks leader, with a big one there for the Roughriders to force the Alouettes to go for 3.
Yeah, this is one of those times where you need your veteran guys to step up, make a play, settle things down a little bit. And big Micah Johnson in his 9th year, one of the leaders of this Saskatchewan Roughriders defense, comes up with a huge sack there.
Which will lead to a 21-yard attempt by Jose Maltos to make it a 4-point game for the Alouettes. It's out and down, and it's kicked, and it's good. And the Alouettes score on 3 straight second-half possessions. Once down 16-3. Now they're up.
Yeah.
It's an exciting football game here. Can't be too low-key.
The Alouettes fans are certainly feeling it. A little more enthusiastic here in the second half with the play of Davis Alexander.
Well, the Riders were trying to quiet them, doing a good job in the first half, but on that hitch, Sean Bain keeps his feet and gets it up near midfield for the Riders in a first down, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, nice call, nice execution, high percentage pass for Shea Patterson. Get the ball in the hands of one of your big playmakers, Sean Bain. A little slip screen here and let him go to work.
Riders up to their 53. Down now 20-16. Still without a point in the second half. Play clock down to 0. They just get it. Tyrese Beverett picks it up. Has the pick. Still on his feet. They finally get him out of bounds. But he didn't. He saw the drop. He tried to make it look like he had the interception. Initially looked like he did, but not sure this is going to count.
Well, Tyrese Beverett does a hell of a sales job here. But here you see ball dropping to the ground. He tried to squeeze it between the knees.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Expect this will be a quick review.
Should be. Nonetheless, frustrating for Shea Patterson, who nearly had that one picked off.
After review by the command center, we have an incomplete pass. Be second down. Please put 3:17 on the game clock. 3:17.
getting some work on the helmet, getting back on the field now, and at a critical point for Saskatchewan as we get close to the 3-minute warning. 3:17 on the clock. The Riders coming in at 5-1. Patterson 2-1 since taking over for Trevor Harris. So they got some work to do right now against the 5-1 Alouettes. Mark Mueller, the offensive coordinator.
It doesn't have to be a run, but don't want to see the Saskatchewan offense forget about Frankie Hickson, who's been on fire tonight. They got plenty of time left in this game.
They're throwing. Patterson runs out of time. He's down. Sacked again by Avery Ellis. And a big third down, a long one coming up here with a 3-minute warning. And Saskatchewan is going to have to punt the football away. So much work done by the Rider defense in the first half. And this time it's the Owls D standing up late in this game. Some rain earlier in the day, but nice night for football. And the Alouettes now really threatening to go to 6-1 with Saskatchewan and Adam Corsack having to punt it away. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. And the Alouettes coming all the way back from 13 down to lead it by 4. So that one rolls out of bounds inside the 30. A 38-yard punt by Adam Corsack. And among those in attendance, there he is, Chris Timofeychuk, who's looking to set the Guinness World Record, 9 stadiums in 15 days in less time than the previous world record holder, or the current one, I should say. This is stop number 7 of 9. So Chris goes to Ottawa tomorrow and then ends up in Toronto on day 15. And just by the fate of the schedule allows him to, I don't know, looking to beat the record by hours or at most. Haven't you been tracking this?
Well, I'm wondering what's the record for longest time to get to all 9 stadiums. I'm working on that.
Oh, Dwayne. Oh, Mr. Ford. Walter. Are you saying it's been a while since you've been to a few, is it?
It has.
Okay.
Just saying.
I hear you. Fletcher, the ball carrier, 2.5 minutes now, and Saskatchewan's defense, which had been so good in the first half, but has had trouble stopping Davis Alexander. Started the second half. 3 possessions and 3 scores, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. He steps up, wants to take off, and he's trying to reach for the first down, and it looks like he does.
A great heads-up play by Davis Alexander. Full sprint heading for that first down marker, reaching forward with the right hand to ensure that even though he's going out of bounds in front of the marker, the ball is past the marker when this play is dead. Great effort.
With Lake Corte Moore chasing him, and alert play, even when things break down, Davis Alexander is finding ways to make something out of it. Continues the drive. And the Riders got to watch the clock here. Just over 2 minutes. Quickly out for Philpott. He can't hang on. And that falls incomplete, which has been a rarity for Alexander in this half.
Yeah, it has. You know, a drop there for Tyson Philpott, but recognizing that the defender was bearing down on him, he's thinking about a spin to escape to try and get out of that, to avoid losing yards. And just that looking to move a little bit too soon cost him an opportunity to bring it in.
You saw Amari Henderson there earlier. Good to see he's back in play. He was injured earlier, and to 2nd and 10 now, and another big second down. The Riders need to get the ball back. Needing a touchdown when they do. Got his caught shy of the first down. Coming back to the ball is Rambo. But it'll be 3rd down coming up here. And the Riders indeed looking to get it back. And just under 2 minutes on the clock. Looking to get a drive going here now against the Owls. Riders 16 points on the board, all of them scored in the first half. Now they do have a game-breaking returner, of course, in Alford, and Alouette fans remember him. Golford had a couple of good seasons here with Montreal before heading off to the Riders. A couple of years ago, Joseph Zima to punt. Gets it away. And it is picked up by a Joe for a 33-yard punt. So not much of a return the way it was placed by Zima. Patterson coming back on. 1:28 of the clock. The Riders need a touchdown.
And this is sort of the ultimate test for a young quarterback. Dealing with the time constraints that he is now, managing the clock. Taking care of the football while looking to get his team into the end zone.
The touchdown came back on a running play back in the first quarter. It's caught midfield, first down. And that is Keyshawn Johnson with it.
Johnson, middle receiver, is going to work across the middle. Gets in behind the linebackers in front of the DBs. Nice grab for the first down.
At the Alouette 53, flags out. Ball's high, intended for Johnson again, with Najee Murray bearing down. It's incomplete.
We're going to get a procedure call.
Procedure. Saskatchewan number 54. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That'll be the left guard, Ryan Sevier.
Timer, please reset the clock to 1:14.
Moved a little early on the play.
So adding a second to that 1:14, first and 15, Saskatchewan 52.
1:14 timer, please reset the clock to 1:14.
Who knows how important that extra second could be. One of these teams will improve to 6-1. The other fall to 5-2. But an interesting showdown between two division leaders tonight here in Montreal. Jason Moss's team coming off a rare loss 2 weeks ago. Their first loss since mid-September last year after winning 13 straight, including the Grey Cup. Started the season at 5-0. Riders started at 4-0 before they lost in BC, then won last week against Winnipeg. First and 15. Patterson knocked away. Incomplete. Second down and long coming up.
Yeah, big play there from Wesley Sutton, his first game of the season. Back at his usual boundary halfback spot. Has been a big part of the blitz package over the last couple of years since Noel Thorpe took over this Alouette defense, making a play in exactly that role.
Timer, please reset the clock to 1:12. 1:12.
A game that Saskatchewan took control of by running the football in the first half. If they're going to win it, they're going to need to do it by throwing the ball. Where Montreal has given them all sorts of problems, particularly here in the final 30 minutes.
Second and 15. Patterson steps up, throws it, complete to Amelis. Tyrese Beverett, Darnell Sankey chasing him down, although pushing him a little further into the Alouette zone in the process. Inside the 50, it's a third down coming up, but a little bit closer, and a flag is now down back.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 48. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, there you go. Because they had a long way to go. It's 10 yards. Still a second down, though, not third, after that penalty to Kavion Ento.
So essentially getting the yardage, but gaining an extra down. So they try to keep this drive alive.
They get the yard marker straightened out now. A second and a little less than 5. Still waiting for the placement of the ball after the Riders have broken the huddle, and a discussion, too, about that.
Yeah, Yeah, the placement after the penalty or had the play stood would have been very similar. Again, the big thing here, with over a minute left, it gives them 2 chances to get the first down instead of being down to their final shot.
So it is at the Rider 49, 2nd and 5. Shea Patterson trying to engineer a game-winning drive. Pressure coming, gets rid of it. Too far. Intended for Emilus, but a good 5 yards further ahead of him, and Patterson had to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, and Patterson knew the blitz was coming, that the middle of the field was open. He's trying to just put the ball up there and let the receiver, Emilus, go and get it. Forced to throw it a little earlier than he wanted. Tough to manage a precision throw in this situation. But there you see, Emilus is in behind coverage. Middle of the field is open. It's the right read. Throw is just off the mark a little bit.
Alouette defense was somewhat beleaguered in the first half. The way the Riders ran the ball. This is it. 3rd and 5 from the 49. It is caught, and it's down near the 40. Sean Bain and a big first down for Saskatchewan with just under a minute to go.
Yeah, Bain working towards the middle. Nice velocity on the ball there from Shea Patterson. Threads the needle. Move the sticks.
They get it down to the 40. And still an eternity in the CFL with 57 seconds. Lots of time for the Riders to work their way down in the Alouette zone. 40 yards away from a touchdown they absolutely need. Coming. Patterson completes it. No, it is dropped by Emilus right to him, just inside the Alouette 35 with a little bit of room afterwards. Can't hang on. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, they get the blitz picked up. You see Frankie Hickson on the left side of your screen taking care of business and protection there, and you can see by Emilus's eyes, thought he had the ball secured, turned his eyes to look for oncoming tacklers. He just lost control of the rock.
2nd and 10 at the 40. Down to 5 of the play clock. 45 seconds here in the 4th quarter in Montreal. The throw again. Coming across. It's caught by Emilus. Breaks the tackle. And he gets down to the 30. And he makes up for that previous drop with good work after the catch. He is known for that, to work his way down close to waiting for the call. Another first down it is indeed.
Yeah, very similar play with Emilus working across the field underneath. They get the completion and awareness of clock management there for the 3rd-year receiver. Nice job.
And how about Patterson going right back to him after the drop? 38 seconds.
Yeah, the Riders recognizing the play was there. They come back to that look, that area of the field.
Shea Patterson. They're down to the 30. The blitz coming. He has to throw it away quickly again. And that one for Emilus again, but it just falls short and incomplete. 2nd down. The defender coming in untouched.
Yeah, that's off the right side of your screen. Nickel linebacker Bryce Cosby. He's the free man you can see in the scheme. He's the unblocked guy. Patterson has the recognition. The receivers have the recognition to get their heads around in a hurry. The rush throw was just off the mark. But it's the right decision.
10th play of the drive play. And 2nd and 10. Pressure. Knocked away again. Darnell Sankey's in there. Forcing a 3rd and 10 with 32 seconds to go.
Yeah, Noel Thorpe seems to feel like he's maybe found a formula here. As all 3 linebackers, you see Beverett, Sankey, Cosby, all mugged up at the line of scrimmage, all joining the defensive line, getting after it.
Fans here at McGill on their feet, wanting one more big stop by that Alouette defense. 3rd and 10. celebration. Was the receiver out of bounds and come back in? That's the question given the timing of the flag. Mitch Picton with the catch, and it would be enough for a first down.
We'll try to take a look right along the sideline. Thought Patterson might just tuck this one and run, but he spots Picton right at that first down marker.
You can tell by the reaction of the Alouettes.
The previous play is under review.
So they'll be looking to see if Picton was eligible to catch that ball. But if not, it's essentially game over.
Yeah, Picton was right along that sideline. Again, as you said, player.
We have a legal participation, 81 Saskatchewan. The ruling is it's an incomplete pass. It'll be first down Montreal.
Explanation for Corey Mace. And celebration beginning. Deontay Ruffin and the fans here. And that was the discussion with Jason Moss. Just make it an incomplete pass. The turnover on downs. And the Alouettes can run it out. Run it out to their 6th win of the season. And back in the win column.
And Davis Alexander, the hero, coming on in relief of Caleb Evans at halftime. Started out like a house on fire.
First 3 possessions of this second half, 2 of them in the third quarter, both touchdowns. He started 12 for 12, 25-year-old, third-string quarterback. Davis Alexander comes on in the second half. And he gets the job done for the Montreal Alouettes. A meeting of the top 2 teams. Only the defending champs are standing on top of the CFL right now at 6-1. What a night for Davis Alexander. Gets the ball to start the second half. And the Alouettes come back.
Yeah, outstanding performance. And just taking a quick look back at that crucial call. See the right foot on this play of Mitch Picton is out of bounds. You can't go out of bounds and come back in and be a part of the play. That's the reason for the illegal participation call. He had just drifted out of bounds on that one. And that critical call snuffs out Saskatchewan's last chance. You see Davis Alexander getting some words of encouragement, praised from former Alouette Trevor Harris.
They were teammates briefly here in Montreal before Harris left last year to go to the Riders. And Shea